Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey, it's Jeff McNichol down here at Mom's Music, 1900 Melwood Avenue. I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the magic was at Frankfort Avenue, the Mom's Music at Frankfort Avenue, and I used to beg people to get a ride down there just to hang out with the guys and see all the cool gear. Now that I'm the owner of this store, it's like a dream come true. We're recreating the magic with the vibe that we used to have at the old store. We're carrying all the gear that you're going to possibly want. We're giving you the outstanding service and personal attention that you deserve. Yeah, so we've got the great guitar shop here. We're carrying USA Fender, USA Gibson, Paul Reed Smith, Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel. Anything you could possibly want, we're going to have it for you. Mom's is, and always will be, Louisville's music store.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I am your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now, let's get this show on the road. What is going on, metalheads, ladies and gentlemen? How the frick are you doing this week? Wow, oh my god, where do I begin? I can't even, get this out. It's like, where do I begin? Anyways, no, I've got Trent and Blair from BLIND SCRYER here in the Metal Forge studio. We're going to be talking here momentarily with these guys, because they're sitting here standing by. This was actually an all-recorded episode. It's totally cool. So, yeah, we also have Athena. She's going to be doing the Controlled Burn EP from BLIND SCRYER review here in just a few as well. Wow, holy crap, it's been an interesting last week for me. I started a new job just at the beginning of the year, and it's just been slammed, which is totally cool because, nobody likes to go to work and be slow and dead as hell and let it drag by. It's just been flying freaking by. We're already in March. I cannot fucking believe it. It's already March. So, festival season is coming up. What festivals are you guys looking forward to trying to attend this year? We're going to be playing a few. Overload that is. I'm going to try and sponsor a few. I'm going to Hell's Heroes in Houston in April. I'm going to try and make it up for Metal Immortal Festival as well in Pittsburgh, that Deb from Lady Beast is putting on. I'm going to try and make it up for that, at least for the Saturday portion of the show. But hell yeah, awesome rad stuff that's going to be going on. There's also Legions of Metal and Reggie's in May. That's super cool stuff as well. Of course, FTA in September. There's just so many awesome things. Be on the lookout. I know somebody who might be putting one on here soon as well. So that'll be fun too. But, wow. Oh my gosh. So much news. So I went to Lexington, to the Green Lantern in Lexington this past weekend and caught Black Knife in person for the first time. Savage Master, love seeing them. As many times as I've seen them, I love seeing them. And I got to catch High Spirits. Where do I begin on that? That's crazy stuff because Black Knife absolutely delivered. 3-piece Black Thrash, super fucking rad. They absolutely blew me away with their live performance and their tone. There often is a time where having one guitar player, it does sound kind of thin sometimes, especially around solos and stuff like that. These people absolutely fucking delivered. There's like not a dead spot, nothing. They're just all thrash and no trash, or whatever you want to say. It was just insane. Obviously, Savage Master, if you guys have not seen them live, go to a show when you get a chance, whenever they're coming near you. If you're going to be going to, Hell's Heroes or wherever they're playing. I know they're playing in Hell's Heroes in Houston. If you got tickets to go to that, do not sleep on their set, because they're bad fucking ass. They always have been, and they're only getting better. It's so fucking rad. And then I got to see High Spirits, which all of you know, I said this before, that when I took this from the radio station that closed down, I said, I've put too much effort into establishing the Metal Forge, the brand. I said, you know what? I want to make a podcast out of this. And that's exactly what I did. And the first person I hit up was Chris Black of High Spirits. And I said, dude, I want you to be my first guest as the podcast. Let's do this. And I didn't know what I was doing. I'd worked on a podcast before. I knew there was a lot of editing that had to go on, but I did it. I called him on the phone. We talked for like an hour and a half. Yeah, the episode's only about an hour, but because we talked outside of the show, just being cool with each other, starting a friendship, I guess. And I finally got to see them this past weekend, and I was absolutely blown away just from the sheer crowd response they got. So many awesome sing-along moments in that set. I was right up front. It was super cool to me. I'm definitely probably going to see them on the last stop of their tour in Indianapolis tomorrow, Saturday the 5th at Black Circle Brewing, which that's a badass fucking bar too. I really want to play that place, especially, the inside looks awesome to play, but the outside stage that they put out there last year, super cool stuff indeed. If I make it up there, stop in, have a drink, shoot the shit with me. I'll be there. I want to talk about Bandcamp for a minute. I've always been a strong supporter of Bandcamp because I think it has helped out the artist more so than any streaming platform of another kind, like Spotify's, iTunes, so on and so forth. I think that Bandcamp has given music back to the artist, on stuff like that. Unfortunately, they were purchased this past week by Epic Games, which is the same company that does like Fortnite and a lot of these user-controlled, user-created games and stuff. And they say nothing's going to change with the platform, that it's going to stay the same. It's going to be the same old Bandcamp that we all knew. But I'm kind of skeptical on stuff like that, because when mergers and acquisitions happen, things do change. The last company I worked for, they said the exact same thing. It's like, you know what? We're not going to come in here and say, well, you got to do this. If management's telling you that we're saying that, they're not going to. And that's how it happens. I'm just kind of skeptical. I'll believe it when I see it if nothing changes. Because where they have made so many awesome strides in helping music, this whole, when it's being purchased by a big media conglomerate, and say what you will about Epic Games, it may not be like this giant Disney corporation kind of conglomerate, but I mean, Fortnite's a huge fucking deal. In that group of gamers and stuff, that was a huge deal for them. So I'll be on the lookout to see how this might change. It's just really interesting to me, because I really don't want Bandcamp to change. Of course, there are certain things that I think could do better, but that's just me. I mean, that's just me as an artist, whatever, not necessarily as a user. So, because I do appreciate the things that people can do on there, where you can sell merch, and that's great. And you can add, if you buy this shirt, or you buy a physical copy of the CD, we're going to give you the digital copy for free, or the vinyl, or whatever. And you allow pre-orders and so many awesome things. I just really hope that in the end of this, that it's not that this media conglomerate is going to see what they can cash in on and take more money from the artists, because we already get fucked enough as it is on streaming royalties and all of that shit. That Bandcamp has really been a help to help get our music out there. So anyway, down below there are links to the sponsors, and without you guys supporting them, they can't support the Metal Forge either. And I am so grateful that you all do help these businesses. Whether you're listening to their podcast, you're buying instruments from them, you're going and getting tattoos, you're going to the Discogs page. Thank you all so much, and continue to please support all of these guys. Ageless Art, Tattoo and Piercing, Mom's Music, Maxwell's House of Music, Better Days Records, Unchained Tapes, Mercenary Press, The Wrestling Steve Show, The Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast, the It's Gonna Get Weird Podcast. Keep supporting those guys, because every bit helps us at the Metal Forge, and it helps them too. Also, making sure you all click on the Spotify playlists as well. You get to hear all of the previous bands that have been on the show, and you'll be supporting those people as well too. Thank you all. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is from Blind Scryer's first album. We're going to be listening to Snake Handler. All right, Metalheads, I'm being joined here in person for a nice, real rare occasion with a couple of the guys from Louisville's own Blind Scryer. I'm sitting here with Blair and Trent. Dudes, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Dudes, thank y'all for seriously coming in because, you know, these in-person interviews, like I said, they're kind of rare, and it's nice to have people stop by the Metal Forge. It's been a few months since I've had somebody else down here.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good to be out of the house, too. So
Right,
yeah.
Because, you know, we're actually getting back out, doing more things, which kind of brings us here to talk with you guys today is you all have a new album coming out.
Or we have an EP, 3 songs.
Actually, you know, I'm talking into the future here. It came out last week, I think.
No, it's what day is it?
I guess by the time this comes out, it will have been released. Yeah.
So it's on the 25th, right?
26th.
26th.
Yeah, 26th.
So you all just had a new EP come out last week.
Yeah, it's been going great.
It's killing it.
Definitely. So before we get into talking about that, why don't you tell everybody out here in Metal Forge Land about Blind Scryer?
Well, I guess we started in 2016. A couple guys, Jeremy Stein and Jeff Smith, got something going. And at the time, you were with...
I was singing with Mighty Auroch at the time, briefly there.
I was in a couple other bands, and they kind of approached me. And we got together, and it kind of just went like that. We had a first few shows with just as a 4-piece. And then we brought on River Jordan, which is in like Volcandra, Stonecutters.
Right. He's doing it all, man.
Doing it all.
Busy kid.
He's busy. He's the young one, so he can still do that kind of stuff. And we've just been after it ever since.
Nice. And Louisville Doom is its own thing here. Pretty much, we've always had a scene where anybody can play with pretty much anybody. But, like, the Doom scene, I'm not too familiar with a lot of it. So how does that work for you guys?
Well, I don't know if it's not that big of a scene. We got some good buds here. We get called Doom a lot, and definitely some of our first album has some serious Doom elements to it, I would say, but more of a rock and roll band. But yeah, of course, we like to play with lots of different bands. But there are a few in town and in the region that we're good bros with, Doom Boys and She, particularly. Yeah, we can branch out. I feel like we can fit with a lot of different bands in the metal and hard rock genres.
We've been good. We've been good at adapting and being able to play with a wide variety of bands. I mean, we played everything from we played with black metal bands, rock and roll bands, doom bands. So we seem to find our spot.
Right.
Even though things may be a little different than what people think they're going to hear. Like if you hear a black metal band, a lot of times all the same kind of genre plays together. But we seem to do still well, even at those shows where you think you're kind of like the odd man out. So.
Right. Which I've always, like I said, Louisville has always had that kind of scene where a thrash band could play with a doom band, could play with a black metal band.
Yeah, for sure.
Which has always been really cool to me and why I've liked playing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But, again, you guys have a new EP that just came out. Tell us about it.
When did we recorded this? When did we record this?
It's been a while. We've been sitting at this point. We've been sitting on it for a long time now.
For a long time. We recorded with Dave Chell at Deadbird Studios. Fantastic guy to work with.
Yeah.
And it kind of runs the gamut, I guess. It's not every song is just a little bit different. We've got the last song on there, which is Controlled Burn, which is the name of the EP. It's about 9.5 minutes long, so it's got a lot to it. But then there's kind of like 2 more just kind of rock and roll songs on there. So I guess it's not proggy. I guess Controlled Burn's not proggy. It just has a lot. It does.
It's just long.
Some different parts and things like that. And
yeah, a little more dynamic than the first album, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope so anyway.
Definitely. Which is super cool because long songs are really awesome. Because I've always been a fan of like these 8-9 minute songs, starting with stuff like Bad Out of Hell and stuff like that. It's a super long song. And I've always liked the concept of making an EP but an album at the same time because of track length.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what are we clocking in at here? With a 9-minute song, are we still only like at 20 minutes? With the
it's about 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
So one song is over half of it, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah.
That's rad.
It's hard to. It's interesting how that song came together. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know what I think. Everybody writes differently, obviously.
Right.
And you never set out to write we didn't want to write a 9.5 minute song,
right?
You know, absolutely, but. It kind of just kept like rolling into something new. And it's like, oh, well, that fits there and that fits there. And it's like at the end of it, we're like, oh, this is 9.5 minutes. Holy crap. But
yeah, I will say even after playing it for, I don't know, a couple of years or more at this point, it doesn't feel like a 9-minute song.
No, it doesn't.
Goes by quick. I have a good time singing it, so I hope that's good.
And that's a hard thing too. Like a 9.5 minute song, and you'd have to try to keep that interesting through the whole thing. Cause I mean, we've all been standing at those shows.
Oh yeah,
where you're just like, man, my feet are tired of being on this concrete right now, and it's like it's hard to keep somebody's attention span. A 9-minute song, like that's something you'd put on an EP or an album, and maybe not play live, but we play it live every time we play.
Well, and I think that stands the test of it. Honestly, is playing a show where you can play a 9-minute song in a 40-minute set.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And yeah, you might be playing 6 songs at that point, but it's the payoff. Is it a great opener? Is it a great closer? Everything else in the middle, unless you're doing like you have crazy stage antics and shit like that, like, you know, like some of the bands in town. Like, like I'm going to go ahead and name drop Belushi Speedball.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, we're far cry from that as far as stage show goes.
Right. I think all of us metalheads are a far cry from their stage show.
No kidding.
They're like Guar with punk.
Yeah.
And it's great. But unless you have like a crazy stage show to tie in the middle, an 8 or 9 minute song at the beginning or end could be potentially where it's at. So fucking play it every show, dude.
Yeah. It's our closer.
It's been our closer since we wrote it, and I think that
made
a while.
You know, like I said, we didn't think it was going to be like a closer because it's like, man, I don't want to finish with a 9-minute long song. And set, like people are just like, okay, like, oh, we got one more, but you're going to be here for 10 more minutes. Like, shit.
and see, that's always the one where when you have the people yelling one more, that's the one you break out. Because then you wanted one more. You're not getting Ace of Spades, man. You're getting the whole fucking thing,
right?
For sure.
Which is always fun because it's just like, wow, it's fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah,
man.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby.
Hey guys, Wrestling Steve of the Wrestling Steve Show here. So if you're currently listening to the Metal Forge with Mark Jackson, then you understand that Mark Jackson has a pretty discerning taste when it comes to music as a whole. You'll also understand that he has a discerning taste for professional wrestling, just like me. My show is called The Wrestling Steve Show. I talk about modern and classic pro wrestling in a completely unbiased, unfiltered way. Be sure to check me out on all available podcasting platforms. That is The Wrestling Steve Show. And I am the host, Wrestling Steve. Just remember, like Confucius said, man who goes through turnstile in Thailand is going to Bangkok. Pro wrestling.
Hey, it's Mark Maxwell at Maxwell's House of Music. Listen, all this stuff is now available to purchase on our website. Check it out at maxwellshouseofmusic.com.
We carry all the top brands, like Fender.
We got Gibson.
We also have basses.
We've got ukuleles.
We got drums.
We've got sound gear.
We've got keyboards.
It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast. We're on season 2, so you have a whole season to get weird with Frank Green and Scott Clark. The best part is there's always laughter.
Oh, yeah, you can pull that out.
We have national touring comedians, NFL stars, rock stars, your local friends. It always gets weird. Weird answers.
Have y'all ever snorted coke off of a 78 Pinto? No? You ain't no man.
Weird questions.
Who had a bigger cocaine habit, Jock Sutherland or Kaywood Ledford?
Neither one, because they stopped beating their wives.
And weird we never even thought of.
Well, no. My friend is on acid, and I sent my friend to go find a payphone so that I can call and turn myself in for murdering this guy and ruin my life.
We love all types of people, but we don't love all people.
Weird. It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast, available everywhere. And thank you to Big X Sports Radio for being a proud sponsor of It's Gonna Get Weird. Frank Green, Scott Clark. Yeah.
Artwork. I always like to talk about artwork. And on the first album, EP, this is like 9 songs, right? 8, 9 songs.
Yeah, the first one's definitely a full length.
So it's full length.
Yeah.
Same artist, new artist. How's it going?
EP, we did.
Yeah, my good friend Jimbo Valentine from West Virginia did the artwork for us for our new one. So a little bit different direction, but I think he nailed it. Pretty excited about it. He's always done good work.
I think we're just going. We're wanting something just kind of simple,
right?
Not too extravagant. We didn't do like crazy colors like the first one or anything like that. We stuck with all one color, and I love how it turned out. Both of them. I mean, they look very different, but
yeah, for sure.
Nice.
I think they complement each other, honestly.
So when it comes to actual art direction for the art matching the music, I, as an artist, both visual artist and a musician, I like to take control of that in the band. It's kind of my duty to sit there and say, okay, this is what we're doing. This is the image I want to convey.
Right.
Do you all actually put that much effort into it, or you just sit there and say, hey, do you commission something and say, this is kind of what we're looking for?
I think, yeah.
Definitely with the first.
We throw some ideas around, but there's none of us in the band are really like artists.
Nah, not visual artists in any way, yeah.
At all. And so we have a lot of really talented friends and things like that. And we say, hey, here you go. This is what it sounds like. This, here, listen to it. Like even our very first T-shirt design, the person that designed it for us, they listened to some of the music and let them run with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Killed it.
See, I've always wanted to do that, where it's like, here's the demo tracks.
Yeah.
Go off in your own brain and come up with what you wanted to come up with. I've tried that once, and I was just like, whoa, this dude's fucked up.
This is not what I
This is not the vision of what I had at all.
We've been lucky. Everybody that we've commissioned to do anything is just, we have an idea and we're like, oh, that's way better.
Yeah, for sure.
Than what we had in mind.
Do you do the pencil sketch and say it's kind of like this?
Oh yeah,
Trent really took off with the logos there.
I've done some stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, hey, can you just make this way better?
Yeah.
Like, here's a crappy version of what's in my head. Try to make this better. And
right.
It's always worked out.
Yeah, it's worked out great. Trent's come up with like the basic idea for several of our recent logos that we get to a real artist and they make it look killer.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I think the stand of a good band has a great logo.
Yeah.
You know, starting with going back into the days of thrash and shit like that, like with Metallica and Megadeth and Slayer. They all have great logos.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that was really the era where shit really took off. Yeah, I mean, there was Kiss and you know, stuff like that. But overall, when thrash and the 80s came along, the whole logo that you could draw on your notebook is where it really took off.
For sure.
And your guys' logo has that same kind of feel to it. It almost has like that Christoph Spagel feel to it, but it's not quite something that he would do. Mm-hmm. And I think anybody out there in the scene knows who that is. Could you know, doing the Emperor logo. So he's definitely a recognizable.
Yeah.
hand.
Sure. Yeah.
So who did? I know you said you designed the logo, but you passed it off to another artist.
Yeah, how did all this go?
I don't know. I know there for a while you were sending me pictures that you'd been sketching out. Like, what do you think of this? And honestly, I mean, I was impressed, Trent.
There's kind of two versions of it now.
Yeah, we have a couple different things working. So I think the one you may be referring to, Mark, is the one on the first album there.
Yeah,
that is all David Paul Seymour.
That was all David Paul Seymour.
Wow.
We had him he did all that. That was on the EP. That was something I'd come up with. But that's all David Paul Seymour for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he did all that, which was fantastic.
I mean, it's got this feel to it that's total, you know, it's not typical for what a Doom band logo would be. And I say Doom loosely because of what you mentioned a few minutes ago with the new EP.
Yeah.
So you have a new logo that you're about to unveil with everything.
We've been using it because we did our friend Bucky Vandenberg. I kind of gave it to him, and he did a cooler version of it that we I think are we using it on anything right now? It's gonna be
we're gonna have some merch with it here before too long. Yeah.
And the EP, it's the same logo. It's just kind of it's not as embellished.
Right. And Jimbo did his spin on that with the artwork there. Off a design that Trent initially came up with, or at least an idea for one.
Is it the red circle logo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it right here. Yeah. I'm seeing the video where
that's when Bucky. That's when Bucky had I gave him, and he kind of
he really polished
some
it up
of it and made it shine a lot more.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. That's like
came out well.
Very much. It has like this interesting like 70s feel to it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Because everything old is new again kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I could definitely see a prog rock band using something like this.
That's what I mean. This Blair over here, he's the one that's got me ever since we've been playing. I mean, we didn't know each other before we started playing, and he listens to so much like 60s and 70s prog and stuff like that. He's got me into all this shit that I've never even heard of in my life.
I nerd out on that.
Had probably a little bit of a bearing on how I designed that logo, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so for sure. Pretty steeped in the 70s hard rock.
Well, definitely. And it's sleek enough and not necessarily, but it's still angular enough as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, just with the quick of the R.
Yeah.
There's no stem, no leg to the R, which I think is always kind of cool when bands do that. It's like your mind fills in the blanks kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not so much your mind fills in the blanks of like, you know, some of these crazy logoed bands.
Sure.
The pile of sticks.
Yeah.
But absolutely. So, of course, the EP release was at Magbar. awesome place to play.
Always.
Oh yeah.
I love promoting there because it's not a big place, and 3 bands work perfect there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There's
for
enough
sure.
room for 3 bands, and it's always the deal where it's like you can either have 10 people and it be a crazy ass show, or you could have 50 people in there and it feels like Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
For sure.
So definitely love promoting there, and hopefully that went well for you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hoping it does.
I'm hoping into the future.
Yeah.
I'm hoping in the future about the past.
I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it.
Right.
Looking forward to thinking.
We're going to take a real quick break here. We're going to check in with the new Metal Forge album reviewer, Athena Prychodko. I think I got it right that time because I butchered it a couple of weeks ago when I announced that she was going to be coming on here, and she is going to be talking about your guys' new EP.
Cool.
Sweet.
Hey, all you misfits and miscreants, bangers and mashers, deviants and the deviated, the tormented and the fermented, ghouls and goblins, creatures of the night. Jack those headphones, crank the volume to max, spark it up, and just relax. It's time for your deadly dose. Welcome to your first installment of Metal Mischief. My name is Athena, and I am going to be your host on this excursion. On today's lineup, we have Blind Scryer from Louisville, Kentucky. They have a new EP out, man. It's called Controlled Burn, and it is appropriately named. This thing smolders on you when you're done listening to it. It kind of gets stuck in your brain. You'll see what I mean once you give it a good listen. Blind Scryer, man, from Louisville, Kentucky. They just kind of rise up from this dismal remnant of a plague that we all just survived, and maybe some of us didn't. But, you know, good thing there's good music out there, right? Anyway, Blind Scryer ignites this beautiful flame with their new EP, man. The album starts with a song called Druid Awakening. It's a dreamy acid rock kind of grip with a seductive guitar riff that just draws you in. And then Blair's vocals just explode with emotion, man, pulling you into that fire. Blair's vocals are fluid, haunting, and like fucking butter on this album. Kudos, man. Really good shit. This entire album just puts you in an almost hypnotic state. I had to keep double checking that I was still alive. Track 2 starts with this awesome pulsating doom that I like to call doom drippings. I encourage you to close your eyes and check your pulse because it is a beautiful funeral march. It's called Laid Bare, and it resonates with like those timbered sounds of the classic stoner and groove metal stuff that, you know, we just love so much. All those solid guitar tones, killer riffs, driving percussion. But I have to honestly say that the real treat for me was the title track, Controlled Burn. It's track 3, and this one is definitely one to stand out for me. The intro is just so easy to lose yourself in it, and you just kind of start to drift away into like this beautiful, intoxicating melody. You almost forget to breathe, hence my joke a minute ago about checking that I was still alive. And then all of a sudden, whap! Oh, there's Johnny! You know, out of nowhere, here comes Blair again, and the drums rise up, and the guitars rise up, and that bass kicks in, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful, man. And even though this is only a 9.5 minute long song, I felt like it was still over too soon. You know, an album like this, you just want to put on repeat, and I did. I encourage you guys to definitely go check it out. Now, where would we be without the talent behind this album? We have Blair Yoke on vocals, Jeff Smith on guitar, River Jordan on guitar, Jeremy Stein on bass, Trent Combs on drums. And I apologize if I said anybody's name wrong. You also got to give credit, to where it was recorded and all that. So, Controlled Burn was recorded at Deadbird Studios with Dave Kale. He also mixed the album. Sorry if I butchered that, man. My bad. The album was actually mastered by Brad Boatwright of Audio Siege. And according to my sources, it took 3 days to record this bad motherfucker. I literally found myself in the grocery store the other day humming this song in line at the grocery store. I really enjoyed this album, and if you're a fan of stoner groove metal, you will definitely dig this. Athena's rating, 1 shot, which equals excellent. I'll probably have a bangover in the morning. Now, first, since this is our first time around, I do have to explain. I give a 5-shot review, not a 5-star review. 1 shot is the best. 2, good. 3, you know how this goes, right? So, if you get 5 shots, man, I needed 5 shots to get through the fucking album. If you get 4 shots, it's meh. It could have used some oomph. 3 shots, good. Made me air drum, bang my head. 2 shots, really good, man. Put that shit in the glove box so you have it for traveling. 1 shot, excellent. Probably have a bangover in the morning. Can't wait to talk to you guys again. Have a most excellent time. And remember, man, keep it heavy.
All right. Thanks to Athena for doing that. That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to the more stuff that she has coming in the future. So I know this is fresh. This is brand new. What do you have in mind? Are you going to continue on this EP train? Because it seems like a lot of bands have done that. They've done EPs. Yeah. They'll do like 2 EPs a year now, as opposed to doing an album. So what are your all's thoughts to that? I mean, are you going to try and put out another full length or another EP? How you doing?
It's a fantastic question that I don't know. I think we're gonna have to wait and see how the songs come together first. We have a couple ready, but
we're striving to do a full length.
Yeah, I think that's the goal ultimately.
The goal is ultimately to get that out. We also have a single that separate from the EP that is recorded. We got to just finish a few things up, and we're gonna release that. Kind of in the meantime, we're gonna kind of let the EP simmer for a little bit, and then we're gonna try to put out probably fall. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Summer, fall.
So the EP's coming out digitally, or it just came out digitally, but we'll have vinyl at some point this year. So we might do the single. Yeah, right. No kidding. We've been waiting on it forever.
Yeah, it's in the. I mean, it's getting made.
It's in the works for sure. It's probably be this summer.
So this has actually been done for a while.
Yes.
Because the vinyl market has went insane over the pandemic, where it's been like year-long waits for people.
Yeah, we're looking at probably.
We were told to wait. We're going to have like up to 10 months probably on a wait.
You know, which is always interesting to me because like I'm hearing it's a year, but there's like people that I know that constantly release shit and on vinyl. Yeah. It's almost like I understand wanting to put your music out and getting it out as soon as you can, because being a musician myself, I understand where boredom comes in. Because for me, playing music is very much a headspace thing.
Yeah.
You know, last week I had an album that it was 10 years old that I still play songs off of.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I can't say that for every other album that I've ever done.
Right.
Like, so it's very much a headspace, especially like if there's a song on there that I've written about somebody and I don't feel necessarily the same way. So sitting on something is kind of rough, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Especially when it's coming to 10, 12, 13, 14 months before getting a piece of vinyl that, you know, that you're going to be in a completely other headspace.
Oh, yeah,
by then.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sure. And our first album came out almost 3 years ago at this point. You know, obviously the pandemic slowed things down for us and for everybody, but I don't know. We need something new out. We got a bunch of shows coming up, so
yeah. We've had some you know, we've had little mix-ups and stuff with the band. You know, our bass player had twins, so He's, Jeremy has been doing that thing. We've had, since we all started playing shows again, since kind of, obviously we're still in the pandemic, but we've always been playing shows. Andrew Cachado, he's been playing bass for us, filling in for the past, almost year?
Feels like it.
Feels like a year.
Times
Maybe
are weird right now. But yeah.
Wow. Jeremy's on his. Jeremy will be, playing the EP release with us and everything like that. But he's had a lot going on, so we just had a lot of. We haven't been able to write as much as we want and do the things we want, and we've got. Ever since everybody started doing shows again, it's like let's do shows. So it's hard to when you're always getting prepared to play shows instead of writing. It's kind of tough. So. Yeah.
Had a lot to juggle lately, but definitely anxious to write some more.
Getting back on track, though.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to go ahead and switch gears here.
Okay.
We're going to ask some general profile questions about you guys as people because that's what we do here. We split these interviews up because, as much as I like talking about the art, the band, the music, the artwork, everything that makes it tick, I like to know what people do as well.
Yeah.
The stupid shit that the idiosyncrasies is whatever, that we all go through and we all have just to see.
Yeah.
Right on.
So what is a metal band that everybody likes but you?
Oh man. Oh, that is hard.
It is hard.
I'm easy to please. I like most everything.
I'm sure there's some out there, but I don't know. Honestly,
Ghost.
Sure. Well, I really loved that first Ghost album when it first came out. I haven't listened to them for a long time, but I don't know. There's a lot of extreme metal that I can certainly respect but that I just don't get into.
Don't get head over heels for any of it.
Death metal, black metal. There is some that I like. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of it that I don't get into.
And I also feel like we're in an age range. We're like in this age range where it seems like I'm 35, and I feel like a lot of kids my age coming up got into the hardcore scene.
Right.
And that just kind of totally missed me. I just totally missed the hardcore scene. So, well, again, like Blair was saying, there's definitely bands in the hardcore scene that I respect. It's just never been like that thing that really clicked for me,
Absolutely. And I think in Louisville, there's two different eras of the hardcore scene.
Sure.
No,
there's that very first era where it's like 85 to like 90. Where, like King Horse and Bethlehem and these bands. And then there's like that other one, Bush League in that as well, if you're familiar with them. And then there's that one where it kind of had the resurgence about 2002, 3 to like 7.
Yeah.
And I kind of missed out on both of those as well. Yeah. And I'm 39, so even still.
Okay, I thought of a band, Converge.
Okay.
There you go.
Everybody, it seems like, especially Louisville, it seems like. Maybe it's just everywhere.
I think they're pretty well respected everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, they're not one that I've ever really gotten into. I know their legacy, and a lot of people love them. But yeah, same here. I don't really get into them.
What is your most cringe-worthy moment on stage?
Oh, God.
Oh, shit. Cringeworthy. I mean, there's definitely some times I feel like most musicians are hard on themselves.
Yeah.
About everything, about their performance of the night. I've had a couple times where I'll tell you what, I remember one time that I was really pissed off at myself, and this was a tap room. We played with Doomstress, that's out of Texas, and the first song, it was Ride the Sun off the first album, the first song on the first album, and I completely missed that
I remember that.
Switch.
Yeah.
See, you remember?
I hadn't thought about it for a long time.
Moment that's ever happened.
I tend to block those things out if I can.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever missed anything that hard again. It does a change up in timing just a little bit, and I just fucking missed it. I just fucking whiffed it hard.
And I've got a pretty cringe one.
We did not recover. We finished the song out, and I was completely off from what you all were doing, and we finished it out. It was
yeah.
And here's the thing. Anybody out there who has ever listened to this show, who has ever been to the tap room outside of, the Louisville people like that listen, that is not a place to where it's not what am I trying to say here?
Sounds like shit on that stage.
No, it's not that it sounds like shit on the stage, but if you make a mistake, every fucking body knows it.
Oh yeah,
because it's such a small place. You're basically playing on the floor.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and everybody's
it's intimate.
You can get away with a lot of stuff at a lot of venues. Like there are little slip ups here and there, but you
cannot get away with shit in that place.
Right up, right in it.
Because if you do, the guy at the fucking claw machine digging out porno is going to notice and say, "Hey,
they fucked up.
You just fucked up." Yeah, exactly.
This is true. Hey, I got a good cringe story.
Yeah, let's
just a recent one that I've been cringing about for, I don't know, a couple months now, since our last show at the Mag.
I know about this.
Oh, you'll remember. Trent mentioned our buddy Andrew's been playing bass with us for, pretty much the past year, and I was looking at his brother in the audience, and I said, everybody give it up for Steven Kishado, which is Andrew's brother. I said, shit. I'm an idiot.
That was smooth.
But now, actually...
I'm laughing, and Andrew's he's such a good sport. He didn't care.
Yeah,
right.
But
I'm sure Steven probably felt...
he was laughing his ass off for sure. I'm a real dummy.
Both those boys are getting ready to be on the road.
Yeah, that's right. Now Steven's going to be out with us next month.
This month. He's going to be on tour with Stonecutters. So.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So we're going to have both the Kishado brothers
that's
hanging out on tour with us.
Large and in charge, right?
It'll be a good time.
It's going to be a great time.
What is the worst album by your favorite band?
I don't know. I think, of my favorite bands, one of my favorites is Captain Beyond, and that third album, it rocks, but it just disappoints compared to the first two.
Okay. I'm not familiar with, but...
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason why I ask these questions, is so I can find out, fuck that album. I'm not getting into them.
I don't know. That's such a hard question.
First of all, you have to nail down a favorite band.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Thin Lizzy's my favorite.
Oh, God.
Well, they didn't put out any bad albums, so.
They did, and I mean, people talk about, those first three were kind of this and that. And it's like, well, it was different.
Yeah,
it wasn't like it was...
Stuff.
I mean, the first self-title, I mean, obviously they're not going as hard as they got later on, and they, changed some things up, but I still think they're all great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's still something great on all of them.
I could dig that. Honestly, for me, with Thin Lizzy, I love Jailbreak.
Oh,
Such a great band. It's classic. It's great. But I like Fighting better.
That's fair. Yeah.
Fighting's good. A Bad Reputation's kind of where that's where I land.
Okay.
It's excellent. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm a Vagabonds guy, personally.
Man, yeah.
I don't know. I love them all, though.
Can you say anything bad about them?
No, you really can't. I mean, he's even wearing the shirt for him. And you talk about logos. That logo alone is
absolutely iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like quintessential neon sign.
Yeah.
It just blinks.
That's the purple Black Sabbath logo.
Yeah.
We even did Blind Scryer shirts, and everybody's ripped off that logo. It's
the Master Reality. Yeah,
Master
sure.
Reality, yeah. Everybody's done that.
Yeah, even Overload
so we
has.
There you go. Nice. Ranks of ripping that off. It was,
Well, if you follow Bronca Studios on Facebook or Instagram,
they're awesome.
You know what they say. Yeah. You can only trust yourself in the first 6
That's
Black
right.
Sabbath albums. Right. What is the best advice you've ever received?
I would say that you can do a lot with a little, and when it comes to drumming, I see some guys set up with 12 toms and 20 cymbals, and I've seen guys play with a 4-piece drum set and kill it just as hard, and that kind of comes from my oldest brother's a drummer also, and when you're younger, you're like, oh, I want all this stuff, and all these things is like you don't need it. You don't need it. So, which is great when you get older, because you don't want to pack that shit around either when you're coming in and out.
Very much.
The best part about the night, is loading and unloading your gear. So,
best advice I ever got was be a singer so you don't have to load gear. That worked out well.
See, all ties in. Yes. Which is bullshit, because Blair is one of the first guys to help you load your shit in and out.
I'll usually help you in, but at the end of the night, I've had some drinks. You might be on your own.
And he'll help me. As soon as he gets done, as soon as our set ends, and I haven't even hardly made it up off the stool yet, he'll start grabbing stuff. He'll start grabbing my cymbals and stuff and bringing them off stage, which is what you should be doing. Bands out there that don't do that shit.
Gotta keep it moving, man.
You know, I really appreciate you called it a stool and not a throne. No fucking drummer I have ever met is royalty.
That's for fucking sure.
Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com. Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now. Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soulgrinder Zine, an independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Chocolate or vanilla?
Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate for sure.
All right. Easy. That was an easy.
That,
I can answer food questions all day long.
A-B questions. That's A-B questions.
What is your favorite condiment?
Oh, man.
Mustard.
Just like a yellow mustard?
Nah.
Or do you like any kind of mustard?
I like mustard in general, but I like good spicy mustard, spicy brown, Dijon. Can't go wrong, man.
Definitely.
I'm barbecue sauce, probably. Definitely barbecue sauce. And like not that I put it on a lot of things, but like anything with buffalo sauce on it, I'm going to eat it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
right on.
Not necessarily a condiment. I guess it can be.
Right. Absolutely it can be. Absolutely it can be. What is your favorite animal?
Oh, man.
Dog, for sure.
I don't personally have any animals. My girlfriend has a dog and 2 cats, and man, I love those 2 cats. Yeah. I've always felt like I'm a dog person, and I love her dog too, but her 2 cats are awesome. They're great. They sit around and just chill on you. Like, they're not crazy or anything. So I never really consider myself a cat person, but as I've gotten older, I've kind of become more of a cat person.
Well, I think cats are you can leave. And as long as you leave food down, they don't fucking care.
That's true.
You
live self-sufficient.
You live your life around them. They don't live it around you.
That's true.
Which they're like, oh, you're back? Fuck you, leave again. Yeah, right? That's how mine are anyways. Getting into the shows really quick here. Playing shows is fucking awesome. Do you have a pre-show ritual that you do?
I don't personally. I know as I've gotten. See, it's not for me.
No, me either.
I wish it was. The older, like, I don't consider myself old, but as drumming goes, I've been drumming for 20 years now, and I gotta stretch more. I've got to stretch more before I play, because I will feel it the next day, and I'm like, God damn it, really? Like,
yeah,
I start to feel it that night.
Yeah,
like the Charlie horses and
yeah,
yes, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if you have to worry about that being a singer.
Yeah.
No, but I have, just in the past couple of years, started actually doing vocal warm-ups before our sets because, I'm getting old and, want to keep it sounding good, as good as I can. I usually take a shot and then go out to the car and
a couple beers
do a little warm-up.
I think we've all learned our lesson before in the past where it's like, oh, I think I drank too much before I played this goddamn show. And it's like, it's going to be a tough one.
Right. Do you listen to any particular song or album before each show?
No, not in particular. I mean, just what I'm feeling that day. It's usually, I don't know, something like Motley Crue. Probably I'm banging on the way to the show or something like that.
Nice,
something like that.
For sure. So I've got a few more. So for the listeners out there, recommend a band or artist to get into.
Oh, go ahead, Blair.
Well, I mean, we got a lot of great folks here just in the state. So like, all our buddies, Bad Wires are awesome. We're about to head out on the road with them for a little bit. Of course, check those dudes out. Swamp Hawk, Crop, those dudes out of Lexington are awesome.
Fantastic.
There's a lot of great stuff, and really check out your community. You can get out there and see it for cheap and
check out your regional bands.
Do it up.
I mean, we've made, the reason we've been what I consider like successful as a band, we've been able to network with some great people.
Right.
And there's been some great bands come through, like our buddies in Howling Giant, out of Nashville, Horse Burner out of West Virginia, which are going to be playing our EP release with us. They're coming in town. It's so many of these regional bands, and they're all just the best people.
Right.
Just the best
and
people.
Do you have any shout outs you want to give to anybody before we go today?
I mean, I guess just talking. I mean, if we're just like talking EP stuff, Dave Chell at Deadbird Studios, been absolutely fantastic with us. I mean, Andrew Casciato, which has been
big shout out to Andrew.
In the work for us. I mean, just best attitude. He came in like first day. And just had the songs
ready to go.
Ready to go.
Nice.
Like first practice, he was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good." He's a hell of a musician, great person to hang out with. Big shout out to Stephen Casciato, which is going to be helping us out 9 days on the road. There's a slew of people that have helped me, even put these shows together. Bad Wires.
Yeah. Big shout out to Bad Wires for sharing this with us.
Like I said, the EP is going to be on vinyl, later this year. And a big shout out to Glory or Death Records, which is going to be put out for us. Buddy Donner out of California. He's absolutely fantastic. Has some great things happening over there. So definitely check his label out.
Definitely.
I think other than that, I mean, always a shout out to the Magbar.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Home base, yeah, man.
They're always taking care of us. Always taking care of us, so.
For sure.
And always, links will be listed below, so please give a like, a share, and a follow. Support these guys in any way they can. Go buy the EP, go buy the album on the Bandcamp pages. Support them in any way you can. Patches, I know you all have those on there because I've got one.
For sure, yeah.
They fucking rock.
Nice.
So, last question of the day is, what album changed your life?
I think for me, that was probably Super Unknown, Soundgarden, man. I don't know, 9 probably, somewhere around there when I heard that. And that kind of started me down the hard rock path, I think.
Yeah.
Of course, going back to all their albums are fantastic. But that's the one that really, really first hit me.
I'll tell you what, this happened later on. I grew up in a household where I didn't get to really listen to rock music and things like that. And years ago, I started a new job out in Crestwood, and I had some time to kill one day, and I went into a Goodwill, and I knew who Rush was. I'd heard him on the radio, whatever. And Moving Pictures was sitting there. And I grabbed Moving Pictures and I started listening to it, and I was just like, holy shit, like I love this. And so I think that would probably have to be one of the albums that definitely changed some things for me. Maybe look at Rush a lot different than what I'd even heard on the radio so much.
Yeah.
What Tom Sawyer's on there, things like that. And,
right.
But there's some other bangers on there that were just great. And then I kind of really got into Rush more. So I'd say that'd be.
Hell yeah, absolutely. As the vocalist aspect, and I'm going to come back to Rush in a second, and the vocalist aspect, I'm not familiar with that Soundgarden album, but like honestly, I could really see how Chris Cornell has been super influential.
Massive influence for sure. Not saying I could ever come anywhere to compare him to that, but yeah, he's killer for sure. Yeah, big influence on me, definitely.
And the Rush thing, absolutely. I was the same way with hearing Moving Pictures. And honestly, to this day, if I were to ever nail down a favorite Rush song, it comes off of that album. And it's Vital Signs.
Oh, yeah.
Because of what it is. To me, it's extremely, like, poignant with the lyrics. The references, just... Process information at half speed.
It's great. I mean, it's great. It's fantastic songwriting.
I can be in the world's worst mood. Like, fuck all, everything, fuck this.
Yeah.
I can be that guy. And I'll put on Vital Signs.
Yeah.
And it will center me.
Yeah.
And just be like, you know what? It's not all bad.
Yeah. Sure.
And that, to be an artist and to be able to come out with something like that does that for people.
Sure. Yeah.
Crack out of the fucking park.
Right.
So, Trent, Blair, thank you guys so much for coming on the show this week. This has been super fucking cool.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Off of the new EP, what are we going to play out?
What are we going to play out? I don't know.
Not Controlled Burn.
Well, yeah, Controlled Burn's too long for all that.
That takes a while to get moving.
Probably the opening track, Druid Awakening.
Druid Awakening
I would say,
would be the best thing. That's a banger right out of the gate.
So. Yeah.
And so you heard them. This is from the new EP. This is Druid Awakening.
Hell yeah.
Hey, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of The Metal Forge. I want to take a minute to remind you guys about the Patreon page. Over on the Patreon page, we have the tiers set up to support the production of the show. We feature the Down and Dirty, which is just $1. There's nothing special for that one, it just sends me a thank you because every dollar helps. Then there's the Double Down and Dirty. Much akin to the Down and Dirty tier, everything helps produce the show in the end. You make your presence known, and I appreciate that more than you realize. Thank you for being a dedicated friend and supporter to the Metal Forge. By selecting that tier, you will receive some cool Metal Forge stickers in your mailbox. Now, we're really going to start pounding the metal madness with the Apprentice Metalhead for just $5 a month. By becoming an Apprentice Metalhead, you'll be given early access to the shows, published 24 hours before everyone else gets it. You're also going to receive 3 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You're also going to receive a 10% discount on all Metal Forge merch, and you're going to receive a sweet Metal Forge patch for your battle jacket or backpack. And now, here is the big one. This is the Master Metalhead for just $10 a month. By becoming a Master Metalhead, you will receive a hand-numbered Metal Forge Master Metalhead membership card. You're going to be given early access to the shows as well, with 36 hours before everyone else. You're going to receive 5 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You'll be able to submit audio questions that I will use on the show of you asking questions to the upcoming guests. Remember, timing is everything, and you will need to keep up with the upcoming guest list on the website. You're also going to receive advanced knowledge of any new merch coming out and be given a 25% discount on all Metal Forge merch. And you're also going to get all of the other rewards from the other tiers. So visit patreon.com/Metal Forge Radio today and help support the Metal Forge. Rock on.